So, this is Fuquan Bilal from National Note Group. Today we're going to talk about how to approach the note after you reach communication with the homeowner. We have Mihir Allen, our asset manager here, and we got some very exciting news. We getting some packages sent in with payments. It's good. The last couple of weeks we've been, I guess the fruit has been growing from the seeds we planted on the tree, and the borrowers are now sending in payments and financials and the rest of the information. But before it gets to that stage, what do you usually see, like after you reach communication with the homeowner? How hard is it to get to that stage, to get them to send you documents in, and what's the time frame on that?
Yes, it's not as easy as pick up the phone, they answer, and send in the financials. It's a lot that goes into it. You got to really build a rapport and create a friendship. The reason is these people haven't paid their mortgages in 3 to 5 to 7 years sometimes. And so you're going to pick up the call and get them on the first try. Probably not going to happen. Also, they don't know who they're sending it to. We're a fairly new company. They want to make sure that these financials are going to the right place. So, you want to build a rapport, really feel for them, really understand their hardship, and then smoothly go into the transition of the loan mod department needs this. I got to present your case, which is what I always do. I always say I have to make an appointment with management of the loan mod department to get a case approved, or your plan approved. And I would say the time frame on that is even sometimes 2 weeks to 6 weeks to even get the financials in on that second call.
Yeah, the important part is when you're giving the borrower the checklist of the financials you need, bank statements, W-2s, 401k, IRA statements, for them to sign authorization, you have to make sure you frame it whereas you're not just asking for everything at once, because they're just getting to know you. Like Mihir said, you're building a rapport. So you probably could break it down where when you first speak with them, you want to get income and expense, just so you can get maybe a 30,000-foot view of what their income and expense is, what's their surplus, the monthly surplus that they have, and then you can kind of gauge the client and get an estimate on what they think they can afford. And then once you guys reach that agreement, then you can have them send in the supporting documents to verify that. Now, we had one borrower just recently sent in documents saying that, I can't afford it, I don't have the money. We had him send in the financials. He just sent in his wife information, and he said, he was a painter, and basically it's slow for him now. So we looked at the financials, and we saw that this guy was at the casino every week, and on average for the past 3 months, he spent $700 a month in the casino, gambling. So you just got to know how to look and verify certain things in the bank statement and see if what's on the income and expense sheet matches, and then you'll pretty much know how to go back to the borrower and frame it the right way. What else do you see challenges when you're doing the workouts to get them to that point, and then once you guys agree for them to actually send the check in, arrearages and payment, and also all of the rest of the documents?
Right. I would say the first hurdle after you get the financials in is making sure everything makes sense, because the last thing you want to do is go back to the borrower and make it seem like you were snooping around and you found out that they were lying to you. You want to make it that I got to get this straight before I go to management, because if I'm not on the same page as you, we're both going to look bad. So we want to get on the same page, and you want to try and smoothly transition to, your cell phone bill is not really $150 a month, it's $75 a month, and so on. Following that, when you bring up the repayment plan, what I like to do is start harping on the positives, maybe the lower term, the lower rate, the lower payment, and then say, okay, now that we've got you this great payment, what can we do to address the arrears, which is another hurdle. Sometimes if you just stick to your guns and you hold your ground and you show that you're not going to back off collecting on the arrears, that's when the borrower is going to respond.
Yeah.
So that's one of the hurdles, right? That's another hurdle.
Yeah, but the whole object also is while you're doing that, at the same time you have the legal department. You send out your demand letter, you have the legal department closing in as well. So you have that pending sell date coming upon, and you're trying to meet somewhere in the middle where you guys can get a happy medium and both agree to a term where it is viable for the homeowner to make that payment, and also it makes sense to the company on the return they're going to make annually. So when they resell a loan, the person can make a 15 to 18% annual yield. We always come up with strategic ways on restructuring from the borrower. We have one borrower now. We at the round table. It has $100,000 in debt. They owe $60,000 in a UPB. So we decided to take $40,000, which was the arrearages, and create a balloon payment and give them an incentive to pay that at a discounted rate. Probably somewhere around 10 grand. They have 5 years to pay it because tax season comes up, and that's a great way for someone to borrow money and put it with their income tax, and they have 5 years to pay off that. Those are late fees and arrearages, and then we'll take the other $60,000 principal and create 30-year payment on that, just so the borrower can feel like we work with them. They didn't have any money to put towards the arrearages, and we were able still to restructure the debt where it made sense for both parties. So there's always strategic ways you have to come up with on helping the borrower. You don't want to hold their feet to the fire. We did purchase these assets at a discount, so you want to share that same value with the borrower. Anything you want to add in closing?
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Just because they owe $100,000, you got it at a discount. Give back to the borrower, and the borrower won't miss a payment. That's kind of what we try and do here. I know that.
Okay. So, final words, basically that's what we do when we reach the borrower, we make communication on what we do with the note. I hope these videos are good information for you guys, and look forward to seeing us at one of our upcoming events.